right? I mean, now we are all moving to internationally accepted valuation principles.
Right.
So, I mean, that's basically even the regulators who are actually at least a decade or two behind when it came to valuation. In 2008, I remember 2008, 2009 and 10, when everybody were doing DCF-based valuations.
Good. Yeah. Well, how do you see the changing scenario that we're talking about?
So the scenario has changed not only from tangibles, but it has also moved to intangibles. So you need to start valuing those as well.
Okay, yeah. And
Less of NPS.
less of NPAs. Okay, very good. So, confidence level of the investor will increase. See, friends, remember, we have to understand the changing scenario. And for us to understand the changing scenario, we really need to go back. And when I say we really need to go back, we really need to go back as far back as 1947. आपको मालूम है कि in 1947 there was one more country that got independence besides India, and that country was Japan. Japan got independence on 3rd May 1947. We got independence on 15th August 1947. And remember, as valuation professional, these are the things we really got to be aware. We really got to be aware because we, as valuation professional, we got to go deep into the whole matter. And so my question to all of you is, we got independence in 1947. Japan got independence in 1947. How is that? Today Japan is a developed country and we are still trying to become a developed country. What is the reason? What is the reason? Yeah?
Their policy, political situation and their economic policies.
Their policies, okay, political situation and the economic policies, okay, very good. What else?
We adopted a socialist form of
We adopted,
yeah.
okay.
And where we did not promote businesses in the private sector
Uh-huh.
as much as we were investing in public sector. And all the public sector investment really did not turn out to be worth except some of the Navratnas.
Uh-huh.
And so it was not the government business to be in the business, but it was more in the private sector, but private sector did not grow.
Very good. I think so very beautifully
There
said.
was so many regulations like licensing Raj, we are, those older generations you all know.
Absolutely.
That, getting into business was so cumbersome. You had to take hundreds of licenses to just get into one business. Since 91, things have started changing, and now ease of business, India's rank has got increased. So the change in scenario is now, we are moving away from a scenario where businesses were not preferred to a scenario where we are getting into India becoming more preferred place for business.
Please join your hands and give them a big round of applause. What else? What else? Technology. Okay. Okay, let me change the question and ask you a different one. अगर आपको किसी कंपनी की, किसी कंट्री की इकोनॉमी को डिस्ट्रॉय करना हो, तो क्या करना चाहिए? If you have to destroy, I'm sure you must be wondering as to what kind of question I am asking. Am I trying to valuation or am I talking about the devaluation? So if you have to, if one has to destroy economy of a nation, what you think all should be done?
Have wrong policy.
Have wrong policies, and I can tell you, I would encourage all of you to be specific. Please remember, we all are professional valuers and we got to be as specific as possible. Clarity of mind is something which is so imperative and required at every stage with every one of us. Because until and unless we are able to analyze as to what has gone wrong, we will not be able to find out as to what the solution is. Are you with me? Right? So tell me.
So to destroy,
Policies?
To destroy economy, you kill professionalism and creativity.
Very good. So you kill professionalism and creativity. Very good. What else? Corruption, absolutely. What else? What else?
Relying on
मतलब आपको लगता है कि किसी कंट्री की इकोनॉमी को डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं किया जा सकता है, या आपको डिस्ट्रॉय करने के लिए कोई आइडिया दिमाग में नहीं आ रहा है? आइडिया नहीं आ रहा है. ओके, वेरी गुड. Yeah, somebody was saying here.
not focusing on proper setup.
Not focusing on proper setup, education,
Relying more on imports.
relying more on imports. And remember, if you ask me, as sir has very rightly said, everything that was required to destroy economy of a country was done in this country since independence. And that is the reason, after gaining independence in 1947, in 1991, our country was at the threshold of international bankruptcy. As a result of all the policies that we followed, you know what was the situation? The situation was in our country, how would you define customer? Till 1991, and please understand, when we got independence, India was a country with a population of 33 crores. So demand was phenomenal. Demand was phenomenal, but for whatever reason, the supply was controlled through the license laws, through the control economy. And as a result of that, a situation came that in India, how would you define customer? You will define customer, कष्ट से मर यानी कि customer. I'm sure आप सभी को मालूम होगा ये बात. एक समय था हिंदुस्तान में कि अगर किसी को बेटा पैदा हुआ या बेटी पैदा हुई तो वो बच्चे का नामकरण बाद में करेंगे. तो पहले पिताजी क्या करेंगे? पहले पिताजी सीधे मार्केट जाएंगे, बजाज ऑटो का शोरूम देखेंगे और जाके बजाज ऑटो स्कूटर बुक करेंगे. अब आप सोचेंगे क्या हिंदुस्तान में आजादी के बाद बच्चे इतने एडवांस पैदा होने लगे कि आज पैदा और कल स्कूटर चलाना शुरू करेंगे? ऑफ कोर्स नॉट. व्हाई दे वुड डू दैट? They would do that because उनको मालूम था कि जब तक मेरा बच्चा 18 साल का होगा, 8 होगा, तब तक ही जाके उसको स्कूटर की डिलीवरी मिलेगी. That was the policy that we followed. That was the environment that existed before what we are today. और remember, ऐसा नहीं है that you could not get a scooter off the shelf. Of course, you could get a scooter off the shelf as well. The only thing is, the official price was 8,000. You pay 40,000 in cash, 8,000 through check, and you still get a scooter off the shelf. Now, this was the scenario that prevailed in this country till 1991. और भूल से भी मत समझ लेना कि 1991 के बाद हमारे कंट्री की हालत सुधर गई. Absolutely not. कुछ चेंज हुआ, but not so much. What is the scenario today? The scenario today is, number one, from primacy of politics, there is a primacy of economics over politics. Are you with me? Isn't it? Today, first time in this country, we realize that this country is being governed not by the politics, but by the economics. Today, the government is able to take hard decisions which are not driven by the politics, but which are driven by economics. गलती से भी ये मत समझ लेना कि मैं मोदी जी की पब्लिसिटी करने के लिए आया हूँ. But the fact of life is, who would take a decision? Would you say that decision of demonetization was driven by politics, or it was driven by economics? See, the pros and cons one can dispute off the line. But today what is happening? The change scenario today is that there is a primacy of economics over politics. Number two, from कष्ट से मर to delight the customer. अब देखिए क्या समय आ गया है कि समय ऐसा आ गया है कि एक समय था हिंदुस्तान में, if you needed to buy a scooter, you needed to book 18 years in advance. Today what happens? Today, if you want to buy a scooter, you do not have to wait for 18 years. What you need to do, you simply need to whisper in the ears of a friend of yours. कि यार मुझे मेरे बेटे के लिए, मुझे बेटी के लिए स्कूटर लेना है. Believe me, all the scooter manufacturers of this country will somehow get to know that you want to buy a scooter. Every one of them will be at your doorsteps in the very next morning. तो आपको बोलेंगे सर, please buy a scooter from us. We will give you registration free. We will give you insurance free. हम आपकी गाड़ी के टैंक में पूरा पेट्रोल मुफ्त में भर के देंगे, आपको इस सोने का सिक्का देंगे, और हो सकता है आपको सिंगापुर या मलेशिया जाने का मौका भी मिले. Now, so today, where are we? Today we are from a situation where the customer meant customer. Today we are in a situation where you are working for customer delight. From telephone as a status symbol to social media explosion. So there was a time in this country when the telephone was a status symbol, and I'm sure many of you would remember for sure that in this country, if you wanted to have a telephone, you needed to wait for 5-10 years. Telephone was a status symbol in this country. अगर आपके घर में टेलीफोन है, you are a big man. I don't have a telephone, I have a small person. And I can tell you, and I'm sure all of you will know this, there is a time in this country कि जब कोई माता पिता अपनी लड़की के लिए लड़का देखने के लिए जाते थे, तो घर में घुसने से पहले लड़के को बाद में मिलते थे, पहले देखते थे घर में टेलीफोन है कि नहीं, कि कल को लड़की से बात करनी पड़ी तो कम से कम कम्युनिकेशन तो हो सकेगा. That was the situation. From there, today you are in a situation where complete social media explosion. Today, unlike in the past where the communication was a big problem, today is not a problem at all. Today, the communication is so fast that even before you think, it has already become viral on the social media. That is the change scenario that we have to look at. From the negligible infrastructure to progressively developing infrastructure. From culture of corruption to culture of national pride. And I'm sure friends, all of you will remember, हिंदुस्तान में एक समय था जब लोग कहते थे कि अगर तुम्हारे यहाँ पर इनकम टैक्स की रेट नहीं हुई तो तुम्हारी क्या औकात है. This honesty was a matter of pride, unfortunately, in this country. But today, in the changing scenario, honesty is gaining value. Are you with me? Do you agree with me? Today, honesty is considered to be a virtue and not a vice that happened earlier. And that is what is the changing scenario. Please understand, you need to correlate as to, in this changing scenario, how do I perform my job as valuation expert? From forced dishonesty to pride in being honest. अब कोई चीज बताता हूं, and I think you all must remember. हिंदुस्तान में बहुत समय से ट्रेडिंग कम्युनिटी को ब्लेम किया गया that the trading community they are tax sure. But remember, the trading community has got tremendous contribution to the economy of this country. जिसको हम बिजनेस कम्युनिटी बोलते हैं, जिसको हम बोलते हैं कि वो खाली टैक्स, सेल्स टैक्स बचाने के लिए, वैट बचाने के लिए, इनकम टैक्स बचाने के लिए काम करते हैं. Who was responsible for that attitude of the trading community? It was the policy of the government. And please understand why. You start a new business, and I'm talking about pre-91 or even post-91 for that matter. You start a business. What will happen? You will have a PF inspector coming to you, you have a sales inspector coming to you, you got an excise inspector coming to you, and you got a factory inspector coming to you, and everybody asking for money. And tell me, as an honest businessman, what will you do? आपको क्या लगेगा? आपको लगेगा यार कि बिजनेस चालू किया है कि पाप किया है, जिसको देखो घर पे पैसा खिलाते रहो. So what will you do as a human being? You will say यार अगर सभी लोग चोर हैं तो मैं ही क्यों ईमानदार बना रहा हूं. So that is what forced the business community to become dishonest. And please understand, today you should do that. Go and ask any grocer that you buy your goods from. उसको पूछिए कि जीएसटी के आने के बाद आपको क्या लगता है. मेरा जो एक्सपीरियंस है, 100% everybody says that after GST my life has become very, very simple. So that forced dishonesty on the trading community has turned into a national pride, because people say that मेरा काम तो बहुत आसान है, मैं आप खरीदते हैं मुझसे, मैं आपसे कलेक्ट करता हूँ, मैं गवर्नमेंट को दे देता हूँ, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है. And all that unaccounted transactions that were happening have all stopped. And remember, that is reflecting into the GDP of this country. That is the changing scenario. And please remember, it is going to grow further and further. From the free for all in power to all to be accountable. एक समय था, अगर आपके पास में पावर है, अगर आप ताकतवर हो, तो आप जो भी चाहो कर सकते थे. Not anymore. बहुत सारे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स भी आज जेल में बंद हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि उन्होंने डीमोनेटाइजेशन के समय पर घपला किया. 3 लाख कंपनियों को बंद कर दिया गया है ओवरनाइट. Why? Because today you cannot get away with whatever you do. विजय माल्या, नीरव मोदी, मेहुल चोकसी और उनके जैसे जाने कितने सारे लोग हिंदुस्तान को लूट के बाहर चले गए. But then you cannot get away with it. So today, unlike in the past, it was free. अगर आपके पास में पावर है, तो आप कुछ भी करिए, लूटिए हिंदुस्तान को, कोई परवाह नहीं. You should only know some minister in the government, and he will ensure that the laws are made to your convenience and suitability. Remember, that is not happening anymore. Insolvency code has come not just like this, and I'm sure you will know this example. Company called SR Steel. SR Steel, the matter went to the NCLT. The promoters were sleeping. उनको लगा कि NCLT में जाएगा, हम लोग बैकडोर एंट्री मारेंगे और वापस वो कंपनी, हमारी कंपनी को पहले लूट लिया है, सस्ते में खरीदेंगे, वापस लूटेंगे. Not anymore. And I'm sure you know this. Subsequently, Lakshmi Nivas Mittal has bought that company, have made a bid for that company of 48,000, which of course is now sealed. The same Ruiyas, against the 48,000 crore of Mittal, have offered to pay 54,000 crore. That is the changing scenario that we are talking about. So, in the changing scenario, and please remember why I am highlighting all this. I am highlighting all this because as valuation professional, when you are signing a valuation report, please remember you are not signing a paper. You are signing a statement of obligation, duties and responsibilities, and if you make a mistake, you can be caught at any time in future. And remember, at that time, the RVO, my RVO will not wait a second to disqualify you as a member of the profession, because the scenario has today undergone a tremendous change. From freedom for unscrupulous to jail for such people. Isn't it? So आपको क्या लगा कि नीरव मोदी हिंदुस्तान छोड़ के भाग जाएगा तो फ्री घूमेगा? सबको मालूम है किधर है वो? जेल में है. And just wait for some more time. Just wait for some more time. And remember, see, why I am highlighting all this is because we, unfortunately, and let me tell you this very, very, very candidly, unfortunately in this country, since independence, professionals have failed this country. If the chartered accountants, cost accountants, company secretaries and lawyers collectively, if they would have decided that we will not have any wrong happen in this country, believe me, our situation would not have been as worse as it became. That time we had the choice. That time we had the choice to become responsible. Today we have to be responsible. From encouragement to inefficiency to promotion of value creation. छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ आपको, and I'm sure you will know this. हिंदुस्तान में एक समय था, वो GST के बाद में खत्म हो गया. The government will tell the industry. The government will tell the industry कि देखो भैया, अगर आपकी कंपनी का टर्नओवर 1 करोड़ से कम है, तो हम आपको एक्साइज ड्यूटी से एग्जेम्प्ट कर देंगे. लेकिन अगर आपका टर्नओवर 1 करोड़ से ऊपर गया, तो आपको एक्साइज ड्यूटी भरनी पड़ेगी. क्या हुआ इसका मतलब? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि आपका बेटा जिसका अभी भी जॉब लगा है, आप उसको बोल रहे हैं कि देखो बेटा 50,000 महीने की तनख्वाह मिलेगी तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, अगर तुम्हारी तनख्वाह 50,000 के ऊपर गई तो घर से बाहर निकाल दूंगा। इसका क्या मतलब है? इसका मतलब ये है कि हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने just to project, very right, it's just to project themselves to be pro people, adopted the policies that were against the interest and the benefit of the people themselves. But today, you have to create value. If you cannot run a company, if you cannot make profit in a company, then the least that you can do is get out of that company. Are you with me? So all the examples that we are seeing today, all the matters going to NCLT, and what are those? Those are promoters are being asked, okay, if you don't run the company, you can't make profit, please get out. You have no right to run the company. So unlike in the past where you could increase inefficiency, today you have to create value. You have to add value, otherwise you have to be out of it. From struggling, underdeveloped to a confident, developing economy at number 4. Right? So today, India has gained the number 5 position as the strongest of the economy. All right. And so, जब कितने समय तक हम लोग struggle कर रहे थे to be a developing country, today we are a confident country. That is the changing scenario. And please remember, why I am highlighting this again and again is because we have a role. We should not think कि मैं मेंबर बढ़ गया, प्रोफेशनल वैल्यूएशन प्रोफेशनल बन गया, अब मुझे क्या करना है, मुझे खाली तपासना है कि किसको वैल्यूएशन की जरूरत है, उसको बुलाऊं, उसके पास जाऊं और उसका असाइनमेंट लूं और उसको रिपोर्ट दूं और काम खत्म करूं। नो, you have a very very big responsibility. From socialism, capitalism, communism, today we are into omniprosperitism. सबका साथ, सबका विकास. Now that is the spirit, that is the change scenario, and that change scenario has to come to every one of us also. From negligible and borrowed technology to rapid advancement in indigenous technology. Till 91, I am sure you all will know this, we were solely depending as far as the technology was concerned only on America, Germany and the rest of the developed countries. But today what you have? Today you have the technology happening in this country, right? So you have a situation where within a period of 3 minutes, you are able to shoot down a satellite. Isn't it? So today you have a what? Today you have a technology where you have launched 21 satellites in one single day. Today you have a technology which is that you have launched the Chandrayaan in the space, right? So that is what all is the scenario. From profiteering to value creation, from local to global economy. We all know this. So today, as a valuation and professional, we have a lot of scope because today the transactions are not happening at the global level. Today the transactions are happening at the, they're not happening at the local level, they're happening at the global level. And of course, so today, where we are from no governance to total governance. Friends, this is the changing scenario, and I thought let me bring this out in front of every one of you. And I'm sure if you think about it, you can very clearly see that all of us as valuation professional have a fantastic future. So I have already covered this as to why the IBC has come, why the registered valuation has come. So I'm going to skip this slide. And future of valuation profession. Sky is the limit. And why do I say this? Number one, ever-growing landscape of mergers and amalgamation. So what is happening today? You have the mergers and amalgamations happening of Indian companies and also of global companies. And every transaction of merger and amalgamation, irrespective of the size, irrespective of the geography, will need involvement of valuation profession. Financial reporting requirements. So today, what we have, the index has been made
compulsory, mandatory with regard to certain companies which have threshold of in terms of turnover or the profit. But going forward, Ind AS is going to be mandatory progressively for a lot more companies. And remember, when the Ind AS become mandatory for a company, and the whole basis is on the fair value accounting, and therefore the role for the valuation professional expands that much more. Valuation requirement under the IBC, I'm sure, how many of you have also done the IBC exam? Very good, okay, fantastic, very good, I think that's a very good combination. So, as you know, that insolvency resolution professional or interim resolution professional or the resolution professional is also required to appoint the valuation professionals, once he is appointed. And then of course you also have to do the evaluation of PEFU. PEFU is preferential transaction, E is the extortionate transaction, and F is fraudulent transaction, and U is undervalued transaction. So there are under the for all the companies that go under IBC, valuation of these 4 transactions will need to be done. And these transactions, the valuation of these transactions will obviously be done by the valuation professionals who are registered with the IBBI. Growing regulatory requirement. We all know that under the Companies Act, under the Income Tax Act, under FEMA, SEBI, there are requirements of the valuation. The only thing is, under the Companies Act, it is only registered valuer. As of today, under the Income Tax, under the FEMA, under the SEBI, it is not the registered valuer under the Companies Act, but what they have prescribed as of today. But believe me, going forward, what is going to happen is, all the statutes, all the authorities are finally going to align with the registered valuer or under the rules of 2017. And you can imagine what kind of work volume will happen for every one of us. Another thing that all of us need to really appreciate, that the confidence which this government has placed in the professional. Unlike in the past, the valuation was a domain of only chartered accountants, not anymore. So today, even if you are a graduate with 5 years of experience and you qualify the exam, you can still be a valuer. Now that is the kind of confidence. So the CMS can evaluate, in the past they could not be. The company secretaries can evaluate, in the past they could not be. But today you can be. So that is the kind of scope. So I'm sure under FEMA, under Income Tax, under SEBI, sooner than later, the valuation will need to be done only by the people who are registered valuer as per the valuation rule of 2017. Financing by the banks and corporate governance. And this is what, friends, we need to remember and understand, that in the days to come, corporate governance in the past was only a matter of lip service. A company like Satyam will get a Golden Peacock Award for the good corporate governance, and within few days, the chairman of that company will be behind the bars for the non-corporate governance. So gone are the days where the corporate governance was merely a lip service. बल्कि पुराने समय में जो लोग जितनी ज़्यादा corporate governance की बात करें, समझो कि उनकी दाढ़ी में उतनी ज़्यादा तिनके हैं. Not anymore. Can you imagine? 3 lakh companies, and believe me, this is only the beginning. अगर जिन लोगों को लगता हो कि ये 3 लाख कंपनी बंद हो गई, ये मामला यहाँ पे खत्म हो गया, ऐसा नहीं है. In next 5 years, believe me, things are going to be much more aggressive. The governance is, the India in next 5 years is going to be a golden example of governance, corporate governance. And that is where all of us have a role to play. And that is why again I am highlighting, don't look at your role only to do some paper exercise, some calculation, find out some number, make some report, put your signature, put your seal and give it to the company. That is not our assignment as valuer. Our assignment is much more than this. We really need to go behind the intent of the transaction and find out as to what is the real value of this company and stick